Welcome. In this video, we'll be taking a look at how to graph horizontal and vertical lines. So to begin, again, I want to go back to what a graph really shows us. And so what a graph really shows us, and the reason why we do graphs, is in a very elegant way, it shows us all the solutions to a given equation. So let's take a look at number 1. And what I'm supposed to do for number 1 is I'm supposed to graph the line y equals -4. So what I want you to notice is that you're probably used to seeing y's and x's in an equation, but this one just has y in it. Well, what does y stand for? Well, on a graph, y is your y coordinate. So what this says is we want to graph all the places where the y coordinate is equal to -4. Well, where are those places? Well, if the y coordinate's fixed at -4, the y coordinate controls how far up or down we are. So if the y coordinate's fixed at -4, well, for sure this point right here is down 4. So the y coordinate at this point is -4. What's its x coordinate? Well, in this case, since I just went straight down, its x coordinate is 0. So what I have is the point 0, -4. Now, did the x coordinate matter? Well, in this case, since there are no x's in the equation, the only really thing that matters is what the y coordinate is. So it really doesn't matter what the x coordinate is. So then the question becomes, well, is this the only point where the y coordinate is -4? Well, no, actually, there are a lot of points where the y coordinate is -4. For example, if I choose this point over here, what are its coordinates? Well, its coordinates are 5, -4. So does that work in the equation? Is the y coordinate equal to -4? Well, clearly here it is. Are there other points? Well, sure. If I go over here, this is another point. If I write down its coordinates, they're -3, -4. Are there other points? Well, yeah, actually any point where the y coordinate is -4 is going to satisfy this equation. So what's my final graph going to look like here? Well, what it's going to look like is a horizontal line down where the y coordinate is -4. So in summary, whenever I get a y equals equation, I'm going to end up with a horizontal line. Let's take a look at number 2. So number 2, again, there's only an x in the equation, there's no y. So what this is saying is we want to graph the line where the x coordinate is fixed at -1. Well, where's the x coordinate fixed at -1? Well, if we're talking about x, my x-axis is right here. Well, if x is -1, for sure right here, this is going to be one point where the x coordinate is -1. Because if I write down its coordinates are -1, 0. So the x coordinate is -1, which works with this equation. But that's not the only point where the x coordinate is -1. For example, if I choose this point up here, the coordinates of that point are -1, 2. And in this case, again, the only thing that matters is the x coordinate, because this equation has no y's. So as long as the x coordinate is -1, my equation is satisfied. And I think you can see that there are a variety of places, actually an infinite number of places, where the x coordinate is -1, and they're all going to fall on this vertical line. So in summary, when you have x equals just a number, you're going to end up with a vertical line. Okay, I want you to try numbers 3 and 4. Pause the video and then restart after you've given them a try. Okay, so for number 3, if the y coordinate's fixed at -3, that's going to produce a horizontal line down at -3. And for number 4, if the x coordinate's fixed at 5, that's going to produce a vertical line over at 5.